What's going on, everyone? We got a big upgrade coming to the little off-grid homestead here. I'm standing right now in front of our solar array, which is 6 panels that are 240 watts each. We've been learning that it's really not quite enough. It's not bad, but we are running the generator as the days get shorter. And with the prices of gas going up, we really just want to go bigger and be less reliant on gasoline and stuff like that. So what we have coming is 2,100 more watts of panels. So it's 6 more panels that are 360 watts each. So what we got to do here, I got a little area ready to go. I got to build a whole new solar rack. The ground is pretty much frozen here, so I won't be able to dig the posts in. So I have kind of another solution for that. It's going to be built on top of the ground, which I guess if I ever need to move it, I can. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put together a solar rack in this video. Kind of a cool little design that I have that I used for this one, so I'll show you how I do that. And then maybe part 2 of this video will be wiring all the solar panels together once they come in, doing all that stuff. So if you're interested in all that, I'll show you the way here. So this is going to be the game plan. So I got this concrete block. It's 4 inches tall. This is going to be kind of my little foundation for this setup. This is all built around 4x4 posts. So my plan here, if this works, is I'm going to put this bracket on here. I'm going to anchor it down with one of these bolts. I hope my hammer drill won't crack this concrete, but we'll see. So I'm going to drill a hole down through here, put the bolt in, and then we're going to screw our post into here. We'll have 4 posts at different heights. So let's start by trying that. Got a pretty good hole there, so we're going to pound this bolt in with the bracket already on it. And when you're working with all this stainless stuff that's going to be living outside, you do want to be careful. You don't want to go whacking it with a hammer that's not stainless. So I'm going to try to do it with this dead blow hammer. Hopefully that'll get it in, as to not mar all that nice metal there. So hopefully it'll go right in. We'll see in a minute. All right, that went pretty easily. So this is where the first footing is going to go, right in this kind of bare spot. It's not very level, so I'm going to grab a little gravel and just make sure this thing's as level as possible. And then we'll try to put a post in it, and hopefully it'll at least stand up for the time being. So I've found in the past that the easiest way to do this, because leveling things is kind of a pain, is honestly to just do it by hand, make little adjustments with the gravel as you go, and just keep checking until you're there. Like I said, it can be a very tedious process. Got ice in there. Ugh. Alright, so I got this 10-foot 4x4. I'm going to try to put it in the little holder there and hopefully tack it in. Might be a little tough to do by myself, but give it a go. And this is the back row that we're working on. So these are going to be taller. I'll kind of explain the math later on of how this is going to work, but we want it kind of as high as possible. The house and the trees are back there, so the higher the better. So the back, I'm going to get as close to 10 feet as I can, and then the front row might be like 3 or 4 feet off the ground, and it's going to be at a 40-degree angle this way, but we can talk about that more. Let's see how this goes. So that one was kind of standing up by itself, but I did lay it down because I was unsure. It's just tacked in, because who knows if I'm going to have to take it out for some reason. But next I'm going to make another one, another 10-footer right in this area. And that's 10 feet away from that one. So I'll make another one, make a little foundation for it, level it out, put it up, and then we'll move on to the next step. We got the second post up. So the plan is I'm going to screw a 10-foot board to the top of the first one because it's lower down. And then I'm going to try to flip it up, bring it up to this one, and find where is level so I can draw a line on this one and cut it down. So it might be a little tough to do by myself, but we'll see. But that's the plan. It's a cool little trick for how to get things level, is just use a board in a 4-foot level and try to make it work. Alright, well that was next to impossible to do all by myself, so I'm going to actually lay them both down, put the 2x6 across them, just tack one screw in, and then adjust for level once they're stood back up. I don't know, we're experimenting. Took some wild engineering to get that up, kind of some sketchy moves. Had to add some bracing just temporarily at the bottom here, but what we do have is a perfectly level board. So that's the high side, so that's right at the top of the post. And over here, I'm gonna draw a couple lines just to mark where it is. Then I'm actually gonna notch into these posts 1.5 inches. So rather than just the weight, the 2x6 holding everything up, it's gonna be set in so it has a little lip to sit on. It's getting real chilly. These days are shorts, already 4 o'clock. So see if we can get a little bit more done today, but that might be a wrap for today. All right, day 2, back out here, gonna get to work. Thinking about it last night. I said at the end of the last clip that I was gonna take this down and notch those out. But that would require me to take all of this down, get everything square again, and put it back up. So I'm not gonna do it. I'm actually just gonna put 2 7-inch carriage bolts through the posts on both sides, and hopefully that'll do it. All right, that's all bolted on. And I prepped 2 of the footings for the low side. I also cut 2 of the 4x4s to 4 feet because I know they're gonna be no taller than that anyways. And then the plan is I already actually marked on this yesterday, but I know that these posts need to be 7 feet lower than these. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the 4x4 in there. I measured 7 feet down on this, and I'm gonna try to make a straight line with a 2x4, mark where that's gonna go on the 4x4, and we'll have a 7-foot difference, which is what I need for our 40-degree pitch that's gonna come down this way. So I screwed this little scrap piece of 1x6 in here. And the cool thing is I need this to be exactly 8 feet from the back of that post to the front of this post. So this piece was a little longer than 8 feet, so I drew a line at 8 feet, made sure that that was lined up with the post and that this was level. Now I can draw a line and I know exactly how tall this needs to be. I do need to account for 3.5 inches up here because I'm going to be using another 4x4 to go from this post to that one. So I took that line, measured down 3.5 inches, which is the size of a 5x4, 4x4, made a line, traced it all the way around. Now I just got to find a way. I'm going to grab the skill saw and try to cut this without moving anything because this is exactly where it needs to be right now. So I'm going to chop that off. Then we'll go to the other side, put up the little scrap 1x6, make it level, do the exact same thing, and then we'll have our layout pretty much done. So let's see how the cutting goes. This is really great. So I repeated the process on the other side, which was the low side, so that post is a little longer. And then I just walked my 10-foot 4x4 over just to lay it down briefly and check to see if everything worked out. And we are perfect. So that worked out really well. I'm gonna grab some big timber locks and fasten this thing down exactly 10 feet apart from each other. And then it's rafter time. So I'm gonna drive this 4x4 into the other ones with these 8-inch timber locks. They're a little overkill for this probably, but it's what I have. Can't use normal screws obviously because it's so far in. So fasten it down with these with the big beefy drill real quick and we'll be in business. All right, everything's looking good. Got this thing all tied down. Everything's level still. Next step here is to essentially build rafters. So there's gonna be rafters that are gonna sit on this back wall or this lower one and go up 40 degrees to there. I've already done the math, so I know the base here is 8 feet. We have a 40-degree angle, which is gonna give us, the rafters themselves are gonna sit 11 feet from there to there, but have a foot of overhang. So I have 12 feet total, which is what I need for the panels. So we'll start working on that here in a second. It's always the fun part, cutting rafters. I got a helper. What do you think?
It's a behemoth.
It's pretty big. It's gonna work though.
Yeah, it gets good sun.
It's already getting good sun this early in the morning, so that's good news. All right, so it's time to lay out our rafters here. I think I mentioned earlier that it was gonna be a 10 pitch at 40 degrees, but I don't know why I said that. It's actually an 11 pitch, which is 42.5 degrees, I believe. Let's see on my square. Yeah, 42.5 degrees. So, so the first thing that you do is you throw your square on. I need all of this board, so I'm starting right on the corner. And all you do is you pivot this thing until it goes to your number 11 on the common rafter scale. Draw a line. So I'm going to do that real quick. So we got that line. That's going to be our plumb cut. That's going to go right against the top board there. So now I'm gonna have to measure down. So my measurement is 10 foot 4 inches. So I have to come down 10 foot 4 inches and draw the same exact line. So I'm gonna do that real quick. So I got my mark at 10 foot 4 inches right here. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna pivot this until we are at 11 on the common rafter scale there. And I'm going to draw a line. I can't really do it while filming, so give me a second. Cool, so we have 2 parallel lines. Now what I have to do is, so this is essentially the bottom 4x4 that it's going to be sitting on. I'm just going to do 3 inches, even though it's 3.5, just because you want to keep plenty of meat in the board up here, because that's all weight bearing. So I'm going to measure 3 inches in here, somewhere around here, and then do a perpendicular 90 degree this way, and that's what will come out. Cool, so I got this piece that's gonna get cut out. That's what's gonna sit on top of that 4x4. On the house and stuff, I'll put another line down here for a rafter tail so you can put fascia board on it. But with this, it doesn't really matter. So the rafter tail is just, I'm not even gonna bother cutting it. So I'm gonna cut this up, walk it over and see if it fits. I hope so. It's always a big moment seeing if your rafters are, if you did everything right. All right, let's see how it fits. It's gonna be a little hard because things are wobbly, but it's gonna go up there and sit down here. Look at that. That looks pretty good, actually. Check to see if that's plumb and everything, but I might just nail it in and check everything and see how it looks. First rafter went up. Very good. It's perfect. So I'm gonna do a little layout. These are gonna go 2 feet on center. So I'm gonna lay 2 feet out all down this, repeat at the top, and put all the rafters in. And then we'll, once all the rafters are on, I'm gonna put strapping horizontally across it instead of like plywood essentially. And that'll really be it. So I'm gonna start doing the layout here and getting the rafters up. Yeah, I also gotta take the top of this pull off with the Sawzall. Forgot to do that, so we'll do that as well. Got all the rafters cut. Everything's ready to go. Look at that. That looks nice. Whew, excited. This thing's gonna get real solid real quick now. All right, look at that. It's pretty much done. I might add some extra bracing just because this is 10-foot tall 4x4s we're talking about. But we'll see how stable it gets. It's already pretty solid, but the last step here, which I don't have the things to do it today, but it'll be really quick, is add strapping. So just 1x3 across this way, 16 inches on center, all the way to the top. And that'll really pull everything together. But that's it. It worked out pretty well. This thing is, it's hard to tell on camera, but it's huge. So that's where our new solar array is going to be. It's going to help out a lot. All right, it's starting to get dark, but I'm really bad at leaving projects unfinished. So I ran to the store, grabbed some strapping, laying these down across 16 inches on center, all the way to the top. I'll have to fill in the other side. And I'm gonna add 2 braces horizontally across these 2 posts here as well. Okay, almost there. Sorry I'm not filming this. I'm trying to go quick because it is dark, but it's coming along. All right, it's done. There she is. It's a monster. Thing's really big. I'm hoping that it doesn't shade this at all. I was kind of looking, and the only thing that looks like it might is this first one here in the afternoon. It might shade that. But as you can see on this one, there's gaps in between each one. So I have about the width of a solar panel that I can just scoot them all that way. And I think it should be fine, because this one right here looked like it'd be fine. But yeah, this thing is, it's huge. It's hard to show on film, but I mean, these are 10-foot posts back there, so we built something pretty big pretty quick. Very excited, so stay tuned. We'll be getting the solar panels any day now and slap them on, wire it up, see what we're getting for power. Very exciting going into winter here. Okay, into the warmth. Goodbye.